So my disclosure, I am not an infant psychiatrist, so you are the expert, I am not, and so if you don't agree with what I am going to say, you will be right. You know that there are public health priorities, and today, to be among the public health priority, you have to show that the disease with which you are dealing have a high level of burden of disease. This is something which is mandatory. And today, you have a tool, epidemiologists have a tool to determine the burden of disease. It is called daily disability adjusted life year. In the past, people only thought to death. Today, there is an index which is a mixture of death and years of disability. For instance, you have a patient here, perhaps the disease will make him or her die here, and he will lose a certain amount of years of life, which is a bad thing. But perhaps, for instance, in schizophrenia, during a long time, the people will have to live with a disease or a disability, and this disease or disability has an impact on the year of full health that has to live the patient. And so disability adjusted life year corresponds to the number of years of life in full health that you lose due to your disease. And so I propose to discuss with you about the question, what is the worldwide global burden of disease due to the infant mental health problem? And fortunately, we have an answer to this question. At least we have a proposal of answer to this question. And it comes from the WHO Burden of Disease study in 2012, which is rather recent. So I am going first not to discuss about infants, but young adults. What is the burden of disease, of mental disorder in young adults all around the planet? You can see in Europe, for instance, that mental disorder by far are the most important area of disease that has an impact on daily. In America, this is nearly the same. You have also unintentional injuries and intentional injuries. And this is somewhat the same for Western Pacific region. For Africa, you have infections that are important, in particular AIDS, of course. And in Southeast Asia and Eastern Mediterranean region, you are somewhat at the middle between Africa and the other country. So this is a very classical picture which makes sense. Now, if you look at to children and young adolescents, in Europe, you have rather the same results. In America, you have rather the same result also. In Africa, also, you have still infectious disease, which are very important. In other regions, you can see that nutritional problems become important, while it was not the case in young adults. Okay, here again, it makes sense. It corresponds to the common feeling about epidemiology. And now I am going to present you the results about mental health in very young children from 0 to 5. And what you observe is that mental health problems are 0. And I'm sure you will be surprised because everybody knows that this is not true. And so we have and you see, neonatal problems are supposed to be the main problem in terms of disability adjusted life year. And so we are really in a paradoxical situation. Why? Because we know, and everybody knows, that early risk factors are very important. Early risk factors for mental disorder are very important and have a long-term impact. There are many cohort studies which show that. We have early interventions that are evidence-based and that are effective and efficient. There are also many studies about that. And nevertheless, most often, too often, mental health problems in infants are not recognized as a major issue. And so I would like to answer to the question why. Why does this happen? two reasons of that. Some technical reason. First, indeed, daily are interesting for psychiatry, and you have seen that for young adults, this has been a revolution. In the past, people considered only that accidents were important for young adults, and suddenly they discovered that depression and schizophrenia were also very important. So daily are interesting for psychiatry. But for infant psychiatry, it is much more complex. For instance, daily have been designed by economists, and for economists, 1 year at age 2 is equivalent to 2 or 3 months at age 25. Because a question of productivity. So this can be shocking, but this is how they see things. And we have to know that. The second point is that in daily, people do not include very long-term effect. Why? Because there are no data for very long-term effect. You have cohort studies with a follow-up of 20 or 30 years, but no cohort studies with a follow-up of 50 years. But you know that problem during infancy can have an impact all during the whole life. And of course, this is not taken into account in long-term effect. In daily, you have no social cost. That is, the impact of the mental health problem in the infant on the family, friends, need for public service, etc. And also, to do computation, you need diseases that are clear-cut, you know, like AIDS. AIDS is a very clear-cut disease. And of course, in infant mental health, this is not the same. And so, these technical problems are rather critical for the estimation of DALI in infant. But this is only one part of the explanation. The other part of the explanation is that, on my opinion, infant mental health is often considered as a social issue than a clinical one. And so the new question is why? Why? And this is a proposal. This proposal is that infant psychiatry suffers from the confusion that exists between psychiatry and mental health. And this confusion exists for all psychiatry, and it is more important in child and adolescent psychiatry than in adult psychiatry, and it is even more important in infant psychiatry. I just remind you what is the definition of mental health according to WHO. A state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or her own potential, can cope with the normal stress of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to her or his community. We could discuss that, because in my opinion, mental health should not necessarily related to work and productivity and etc. But this is not the problem. The problem is, if you read that, it is related to politics and not to medicine. And so, what consider politicians? They consider that money for medicine has not to be used for mental health, because mental health is politics. This is not medicine. And so when you are around the table with people that are dealing with infectious medicine, with cancer, with myocardial infarction, if you are discussing about mental health, they will put you apart because you are not dealing with the same business in their mind. So, this is my last slide, how to struggle against that. How to struggle against that? First, I think we have to define what is infant psychiatry on one side and what is infant mental health on the other side. This is a necessity. In IACAPAP, we are working with this question in child and adolescent psychiatry. We have some element of answer, statistics and clinical one. We could discuss about that, about the notion of phenomenological rupture that happens when you can speak about psychiatry. But anyway, this is a point of research that we have to deal with, and this is important if we want to be heard. And we have to be very careful with our message. Our message has to be different when we are speaking about psychiatry and when we are speaking about mental health. When we are speaking about mental health, we have to say to politicians that investing, in particular in psychological intervention, this is cost effective. They will earn money if they invest in psychological intervention in early child. This is not necessarily a question of medicine. This is a question of benefit in money, and they can understand that. But this is the first point. The second point is we have also to say that infant psychiatry do exist. In some situations, we have indeed a medical necessity and a medical emergency. And this is not only a question of benefit of money. This is a question, like we have to treat acute seizure, we have to treat some acute problem about infant psychiatry. And thus, it will be difficult. We have to prioritize. Because spontaneously, we want to take care of all children with problems, you know. This is very emotional. But we have only a very limited amount of money in all countries. And so, as physicians, we have to decide, and this is a very difficult responsibility, where should be the priority to spend the money. And if we do that, if we take our responsibility, we will disengage from these political controversies. And politicians will feel free to consider that there is some part of the cake which is relevant for them, and the other part which is clinically relevant and which should be related to medicine. And we will have to do some epidemiological studies to really estimate the burden of disease of infant psychiatry more than infant mental health. And at this time, infant psychiatry will appear, hopefully, on the DALYS map. Thank you for your attention.